got 50 Cent on his bullshit once again. So the only reason a lot of us allegedly have stars is because of 50 Cent and his shows. Would you say that's
What do you
facts?
mean have Star? Oh, Stars the program.
The network.
Yes, 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 yes. Because I'm
Um,
still watching Raising Canaan, and it's good.
and I didn't want to raise him. I did. And you be watching it and I be peeking. And now
It's good.
I'm a part of his friend circle. I'm raising up that little nigga. But who ain't raising him is Stars. So 50 Cent has ended his contract with the Stars network. Now, what does that mean? Bitch, we don't know right now. But he said he's going to decide where he's going. So with
So
him
that
leaving,
does that mean does he have all control over the Power series, all the spinoffs, all of that, or
so
is the
remember
Stars keep some of that?
remember when Nick Cannon had lost Wild and Out? We was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Caesar had lost Black Ink
Like
and we
in
was really
crew.
like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So but I feel
We
like this
don't.
show
So we don't know.
yeah, I feel like the show did so big for the network. I'm sure they have more majority in it. I'm sure he can't just take the shows and leave because he's
We'll
been
see.
angry several times and he would have did it before, but now it's
We'll
officially
see.
over.
I hope
So
as just another black man, I hope he owns all of this. It would be beautiful for him to be able to say, I don't have to deal with this bullshit. I can take my shows somewhere else. Because I
mhm.
follow them. Like wherever these shows are going, I'm going to follow because they're good shows. So I
And
hope he
see,
owns them.
and see, that's my thing. We don't know at this point now if it's a lot of 50 Cent's creativity because if you take the show and run it to BET Plus, what if it's what if it's Stars putting it in and Courtney can't? Because I feel like Courtney and 50 Cent get into it a lot too. So if they
Who's Courtney?
divide the executive producer one who always used to do the after Power, she would go talk to the camera. And on
Oh,
this
okay.
episode,
Yeah, yeah.
so like they had beef and stuff too, and then he's mad at the white people at Stars too. So I don't know who owns what and who does the writing because some people love Power, some people hate Tariq, some people like the Stars series is very weird. So in general, you see people who really love it or really hate it, and there's people who really love 50 Cent, and there's people who really hate 50 Cent. You have Little Kim, you have Vivica Fox, you have Ja Rule, you have like so I don't know. So you're gonna follow it if it goes to somewhere you have to pay. So if it goes somewhere else, you got to pay $5.99 a month for 50 Cent shows. Will you pay $5.99 for 50 Cent?
Isn't that what we do now? What do we? Stars isn't free, is it?
No, but we get like P Valley and other stuff. So if you're going to the 50 Cent network and it's just those shows, would you give him $5.99 a month?
I'm not sure about that. He'd have to have a bunch of different shows going on at once for me to watch to be let that to be worth my $5.99. Otherwise, allegedly, there could be other ways to watch it. That's all I'm saying.
What did you feel about Tommy?
I don't know if his spinoff is necessary.
Oh,
I need to give it a little more time.
it kind of went like we heard one thing and then they moved into a whole different city and then there's all these
Yeah.
white people. And I was like, power is for us. It
Okay.
was very
It's not
white.
what. No, I'm not basing it off of white people,
I'm just
but
saying, but it was a black show, and we accepted Tommy. And then Tommy got a spinoff, and we thought he was gonna be amongst a whole bunch of black people, and then there was a whole bunch of white mafia people. But his brother was black. What? What?
move along, sir.
So we'll see what this means for Tariq because you was already treading on thin ice. And Mary J. Blige, if they do move, hopefully you get an acting coach. But we are here for. Does Mary? Does Mary do a great job?
I don't mind Mary doing Mary. Mary does what Mary does. She gives me
Her character
authentic.
name not Mary though.
But what I'm saying, she gives me authentic herself. And so as long as we're writing around what Mary is, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with Monet. Don't get. I like Monet. She gives me Monet.
And that's all she can give because we don't know what else she can give. And
Move
people say
on.
it's limited. They say, "Why we gotta move along? We being real. It's
No, because
limited,
you
right?"
shading people, and they don't even know us yet. And you shading people.
Girl, we got 3,000. Somebody knows us.
No, nobody knows us.
Somebody do.
A mess.
All right. Now I never had a period, and then I got one, and now we're adding I to it. So period. I don't understand what makes the rounds on TikTok, but there's a girl named Britt Barbie. Now we had Bad Baby, who was, I guess, a Barbie, and then we had Britney Spears. So then you combine Britt Barbie, and that's exactly what this girl is given. So her period has blown up on TikTok, and people are big mad at Chloe. Now, I love Chloe Bailey. I think she's very talented. Y'all don't care about her voice unless you see her titties. It is what it
Allegedly,
is. So
allegedly.
she has to pretend like she's going swimming for y'all to hear her talking. She was going to reach that pool one day. So she joined in on the period challenge. And people are saying that she's now co-signing this culture vulture and making her a thing. And I think this song might go number one. They're saying it's up in the rankings, and it's this
It's a real song, like on Billboard.
because TikTok is a thing. TikTok is a whole thing, and when Chloe gets on songs, they kind of become like she got on that "Go Be a Gala" song, and then it became the She Mix, kind of like a remix. So if Chloe's jumping on period now it might validate the song.
I can't. Let's listen
And
to
she,
it.
okay,
Well, let's take it off mute first.
Britt Barbie, Chloe.
yes.
Period I, period 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 period I, period. Got my name up in your mouth, you don't know no better. Don't forget I'm from the South, yeah, I got them headers. You watching everything I do, studying all of my moves. Wish you could do what I do. Period I, period period I, period period I, period period I, period period.
That is
Hey,
so
you see,
stupid.
can you pause for a second? So you see the comments and reactions. My eyes are ticking small. Can you read those, please?
I hope this girl doesn't have a career off of period. I'm switching careers. Man, Chloe, you're so artistic and creative. I swear the skills, everything. This was actually fire. Once again, proving why I love her. I think maybe I missed one. Hold on. Out of all the black celebrities helping period go viral, which will essentially give her the clout to be a big ass bad baby of our culture, by the way. I just did not something my girl Chloe Bailey to participate or contribute by adding a verse. She went on live. Candy, did I say Candy? No, Cotty. Who's Katie? I don't know. She went live. Katie had requested for Chloe to jump on the period remix, and she did. Chloe, you ate that.
So it's been very mixed reactions, and I guess somebody named BB Rexa did. I heard her name, but I don't know you. She did a version too, but people are mad because Chloe jumped in on it and added a verse. Now the verse to me was everything because Chloe can't deliver bad to okay. They were mad because she validated the song and gave it a verse, and it was period out period forward.
The whole thing is stupid. It really is. It's not cute. And I don't like it. I don't know what more to say. It's dumb. This is child shit.
Now, if by the time we record again in a couple days, if we're saying period, they won. They won. And this is the only way Chloe can catch a hit because y'all won't let her surprise y'all and have mercy on y'all souls.
Into the side. Yeah.
They know the way to ride.
They got it.
Hey, let my girl win, y'all. Let talent win. Shout out to the City Girls. Speaking of talent, her sister, Halle Bailey, is black. And she's playing a fishy woman in the sea.
I hate you so much.
The people are mad. Now, when I say people, I'm not going to give it a color, but let's just think. Okay. So they're mad about Halle Bailey playing the Little Mermaid. Now, we've heard a lot of stories recently about where the Little Mermaid actually came from and all that stuff. And apparently she wasn't a white woman because white women don't live in the sea anyway. But, girl, she's giving vocals, she's giving life, and she already got the check. So y'all can't take that from her.
So basically, millions of people have gone over to the YouTube where that clip for the new movie had leaked, or not leaked, was presented. And there's just millions of dislikes on the comment, on the video, just because of the fact that she's a black woman now playing what was traditionally, I don't know if you can call it a white woman because they were mermaids, and mermaids aren't real, but they're mad that their white mermaid now has skin tone. Now she has a little melanin. They're upset about that.
Shout out to Hugh.
Haley just this thing saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and she decided to slay some looks.
Pray. Part of that world. Them boys pray.
So she's unbothered, as she should be. She looks
You got the
beautiful,
check.
check clear,
I mean,
and there's gonna be more people there to support you than people not. So
was there ever a Little Mermaid too?
I don't know about Mermaid.
So we don't need to worry about y'all. We did the job. We good. Y'all gonna see it or you ain't. Now, once again,
or you ain't.
Are you is gonna see it in the theater?
I'm gonna see it.
Theater.
I said I'm gonna see it. Yeah.
Well, no, just saying I'm gonna see it don't mean I'm gonna see it in the theater.
Yes, I'm going to see it in the theater.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, let's go check this out and report back on if you caught a fish or not.
I
So
can't.
listen. we gonna listen. God has gems in heaven. Kirk Franklin is partaking in them. Like Kirk Franklin is thirst trapping for Jesus. Now, I wanted to run my tongue across his sea, part that ocean. Shout out to Kirsean.
After Jesus.
I mean, and you know he got a addiction to porn. Like I get it. That's why his arm's so muscly.
I mean, look at
yes.
me at the next Kirk Franklin concert because I got something he can put a stomp in.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
All my people.
And this one says, "Woo! I'm just wondering what else he can rain down on me right now."
Get me wet. Melodies from heaven.
This one, split me open. Lord, split me open. I can't. Where do y'all come up with this shit?
Meat.
I
Down
can't.
at the pink.
I think that's it. Oh, someone else put up the church girl lyrics and say, "You can be my daddy if you want to."
Hey. Now, I've never thought about Kirk Franklin in a sexual way until now. Now, if I did before, it turned out to be plies. But now, Kirk, you can get it too.
Not plies.
Silver and gold condoms for all.
Oh, you're an idiot.
I can't. What is your favorite part of the chicken?
I love me a good juicy chicken thigh.
Ow.
You
so
stupid.
The men's in jail.
Come on, transition.
Listen, so no, that is inappropriate. I was gonna say, what's the best kind of meat? Dead meat, because you don't want to eat raw.
All right, we're gonna move on.
You'll get salmonella.
So, anyways, y'all, Tim Norman, the guy from Sweetie Pies, or Welcome to Sweetie Pies, or whatever it is. You know that he was charged with the conspiracy for the death of his nephew. But
Andre Montgomery, rest in peace.
Yes, the case is now over, and let's see here. Let me add this to the screen. Mr. Tim Norman, 43, was convicted on all charges after the jury deliberated for about 17 hours. He faced 2 federal murder for hire counts and 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud.
Who the other person he killed?
What do you mean?
Why you say 2?
I don't think it was for 2 people. I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
I don't know.
What's that charge?
I don't know criminal life. But listen, my mom got that same blouse, Tim. You did that, girl. But listen, so this is a very, very weird, like this is blowing up because a lot of people had already put 2 and 2 together. Do I have to say allegedly? And allegedly decided that, bitch, you had something to do with the death of your nephew, allegedly. And like we finally got justice. Again, when we say justice, it doesn't take away the pain, the hell that people went through, but it's like, okay, at least you are going down and you will be more. Now, here is where shit gets a little twisted to me. And again, people have been saying this for a year or so now, and I didn't want to believe it because in my mind, you was a sweet old lady from the show whose son just wanted to take over your company. We got to the part where they were saying Tim was taking her, her colors and her scheme and making his own restaurants. And so things got bad. So I was like, why are you doing that to this woman? And now we're hearing that Miss Robbie has a little past of herself. So I just remember her allegedly getting beat by Ike and then going away from Tim and doing that. So to me, she felt guilty that I wasn't.
Oh no, they the people on the internet were saying she took Ike's side, and that's when they stopped trusting her.
Oh, against Tina?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know that. So
It's Robbie,
saying,
right?
Yeah. Because I was just saying that people were saying that she babied him because she was away during that time. So, you know, she was giving him money and doing all that stuff. He felt like, well, you know, it was a lot going on. And I don't like these murder things, but didn't his brother die too?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a murder for hire for him. I don't know. But
so there's
dead
rumors
too,
about that. And then there's rumors about when Miss Robbie got, her house got broken into, that Tim and maybe Miss Robbie was a part of it, and that maybe Miss Robbie brought
this is all twisted, allegedly. And hold on, because we're saying a bunch of stuff that we don't have firsthand knowledge of. Let me play something for y'all real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Listen up, y'all. All our videos are for entertainment purpose only and should not be considered 100% accurate. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. No copyright infringement intended. All rights belong to their respective owners. Now move along.
To the left, to the left.
Just had to get that out there, just because too many people are being sued nowadays, and I don't have the time. So,
we're gonna jump into that later. We got
fair
use and everything.
Fair use.
Yeah. So it's just a lot going on with Miss Robbie, but nobody is really painting her with an innocent brush. Like they're saying she might have had something to do with it because he told her, "Grandma, I don't want to be there. I don't feel safe. I don't trust Uncle Tim." All this is alleged, and she said, "Bring your ass down here anyway." And apparently she had a life insurance claim on him, and so did Tim. It's just it is twisted as hell. And if y'all want something to watch, there's hours and hours and hours of documentation. But I ask you this: why was this not really covered by the white media? Because this was huge that this restaurant owner's son took out his nephew allegedly and hired a stripper and an insurance man to do it allegedly, and then the mama might have knew allegedly. Like,
I'm sure it's making big news where they live, but yeah, it's definitely not making world news. I don't know.
It's making black news, and this is a big story. If this was somebody white, it might have made bigger news. Like, had Andre would have been Andrew.
I just want to play this clip real quick, and this clip is from Chronicle Speaks. Shout
out to Chronicle Speaks,
her YouTube. So we're only going to play a small clip on it. We encourage everyone to go over there. She's done a lot of research on this.
Yes,
she's got the whole video. So please go to her platform and see it all.
Shout
we just want to talk about this clip real quick.
Them boys cray.
So before he died, Miss Robbie called his phone and was cussing him out. And would say, "Mother effer, you ain't my grandson. F you, mother effer, blase, this and this and that." I don't think she was aware of her surroundings. Because my brother, he's the type of person, when something is not right, he's going to put on speak for all of us to hear. And he kept saying, "Grandma, I didn't do it. I'm trying to tell you, Grandma, Uncle Tim did it." And she was just going on cussing him out. "And you ain't going to my funeral, I ain't going to go to your funeral." And Dre was like, "Grandma, I didn't do it. I'm trying to tell you, I didn't do it." Me and my sisters, and we were all sitting there like, "Dre, if you didn't do it, don't worry about it." He threw his phone. He was, "I'm gonna be one of God's soldiers." Right there when he told me that means he's going to sacrifice to prove to his grandmother that he did not rob his grandmother. He did not rob his grandmother. And that day, that's when he left, and that's when we found out he died. You know, that was messed up. She knew, she was aware of it. She was aware of it. For her to walk in that.
Jesus, yes. Lord have mercy. Allegedly.
So they are saying that she was aware of it. She knew what was going on, and Andre was trying to convince her that he did not break into her house. This is sad. This is sad.
Because they're saying that Tim had a part in that, and Miss Robbie knew, and it's like, why would? Again, well, I guess we don't know the minds of people who are going through it, and apparently all this was for money, and it's like, for real, you gonna take out a family member allegedly for $5? And
I think they got money, like 57 cents? They got money. Like this didn't need to happen. Tim is just clearly, he's been money hungry. Clearly, when he was going behind his mom's name and open up restaurants underneath their logo and using their names and shit like that, and she didn't even know she had restaurants in like California and shit like that. It was a lot going on during that time. And this is all alleged, but they showed it on the show.
Yeah.
So Tim has just been. Listen, you know who we need to be saying? Jennifer.
Shout out,
bitch.
to
Jennifer, you dodged a bullet, quite literally and figuratively.
Literally, allegedly.
Okay,
girl,
man.
And again, I'm a bitch who can always apologize. I didn't believe you because Jennifer has had a history of
being in stuff just from what she does on reality TV. Sometimes you have to do some stuff to keep entertainment going, but clearly this was just life. And
because remember, even all this time he kept saying, no, she's stalking me, and she was like, no, he did this to my tires, and people was like, oh, she just, because at this time she wasn't on Basketball Wives, and so she's just using this to get back on Basketball Wives. And it just, this man is your nephew. And then if you go back and watch Sweetie Pies, he seemed like the sweetest kid. Yes, he might have been in trouble and stuff, but he's trying. I'm coming to the adults in my life, my grandmother, my bitch ass uncle, allegedly. And y'all wanted to kill me, allegedly. So Charles, his cousin, spoke out. So I'm clicking the links like, oh, I can't wait. And he really didn't. But he basically said that justice has been served. So people was like, oh, he didn't want to speak on it because it was his uncle before.
Yeah.
But everybody's happy that,
And because he was close to Andre, so I can understand that. And that's got to be a typical situation. Just like the situation with, we posted a while back about when back in June when Miss Robbie did an interview and she was asked about her son, and she was like, I don't know if I can turn my back on my son because that's my child. And there's so many people in the comments then and now saying, how could you defend your child? He did this, he did that. Look, I get that. But do we also get that sometimes there's unconditional love? Like there's a mother who raised this child, who carried this child. She has a special connection to that man that we will never know. And so I don't judge her for saying I can't abandon him, as long as she's not out there condoning him. As long as she's not out there saying, okay, he didn't do it, y'all just lying. Don't do that shit, because now it's been proven in a court of law. But should she never speak to her own child again? I don't know. That's not for us to call. When you in that situation and you have those love ties, then you will understand it.
And I think to us, as we both took it that way, and other people were like very hard in their word. And I guess because they did a lot of investigation and people were saying she's speaking this way, but yet we think you have something to do with it. So you kind of riding for your son, and we think you had a person. So it kind of made me see why people were going the way they did, because for years people were thinking Miss Robbie has something to do. You better click down.
Oh, you can hear that.
All the clicks.
I'm sorry.
Every video, all the clicks.
A mess.
The Terica girl who was the stripper, like, if you would have just shook your ass a little more,
don't do this.
And now you're gonna be shaking it for. Are y'all watching 60 Days In? Y'all watch it. We could discuss that, because Tim, you're gonna be on there. All right. So when your name is Blueface, I thought it was because you like blue, not because you like being punched in the face and turned blue. Why is Blueface Chrisean Rock, his mother, her father, siblings? Why are they all fighting each other? Like, we've been seeing Chrisean and Blueface. Now all of a sudden we see Chrisean Rock daddy making Blueface face bluer.
Not face bluer.
And it's on film. Like, what in the tragic hell is going on? What? Yeah,
I don't. Well, clearly they're filming for a show, so there's that. So apparently when they were filming, things got a little hot. They said the father hit Blue first.
Yeah,
and they got pushed away or whatever. It settled down, and then Blue came and snuck or punched him from the behind, allegedly, and knocked the father out.
But do we feel like the father has just rights? Because I've seen you beating my sister's daughter. I mean, my daughter's ass all over the internet. So
I definitely think
when I come up on you, I'm going to come up on you.
So we'll see. Clearly, this is going to be a Zeus show. So they said Zeus and Natalie was running around. So I don't know how y'all into this, but we'll see. I'm here for the trash. I just don't want. They need to be at a certain level where we're gonna play the fine line with trash reality TV, but they need to make sure they don't cross that line. They get me very toxic for each other, allegedly. I don't like the way they interact and how they're always fighting. You can tell they probably fight hard and they fuck hard, which is fine. But there needs to be a fine line here. I don't want to see no one get, unalived in a situation here. It would be real crazy.
Yeah, and it's people are like, well, it's Zeus making them do that. They're not. This is who they are. Is Zeus like taking advantage of it? Are they jumping on this? Absolutely.
But that's not to blame Zeus. I mean, all the reality networks do that. They set up a scene, they set you up with plenty of liquor, and they say go. Whatever happens is what happens. They can't be held responsible, but they have to. They're there to create a show. Let's be very real. So
that's true, and people are saying, we get that when it comes to reality shows. But even for me, this is a situation where the reality show is about this man and this woman who get into physical altercation. So if we're giving y'all liquor, allegedly drugs or whatever, and making y'all film, we know where this might go. So it's different than giving a Nene and a Candy something. These are two people in a toxic relationship fighting. This is Bobby Brown and Whitney on crack, allegedly. Like allegedly, because we're no nosy hoe. We'll get to that in a minute. But it's just very weird. And here's the thing. We've seen Chrisean rock on Zeus. What is she on there doing? Beating ass. And now we're going to see her. It's very weird. And here's the thing. They don't love y'all. They don't respect y'all. When one of y'all die, they're going to take the cameras to your funeral, and that's going to be a spinoff.
Not a
It's going to be
spinoff.
called The White Face because you dead, nigga. Like,
Allegedly.
And then we're going to be wondering who did it. Her mama, her daddy, her, or Natalie Nunn. Listen, allegedly, Natalie Nunn, Natalie Nunn was fighting too. So they said Natalie Nunn got her ass beat, allegedly. Lemmy, the CEO of Zeus, is going to the club starting shit with Christopher Milan. Like,
This is a mess.
Why are the label... I said a label.
Label.
Okay, well,
The network.
Death Row TV network, basically. This is what this is. Why are y'all jumping into it? Like, we don't see Mona Scott fighting. Like, we don't see Andy... Well, listen, Andy wants to fuck Martell Holt so bad.
Allegedly.
And Carlos King will whoop his ass because he want him first.
Allegedly.
How you doing?
See, your mouth was too reckless for over here. I can't keep saying allegedly every 5 seconds.
Allegedly. We said this is a fair use community.
Not okay. Move on. A development in the accusations into Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. The victim is stating that she will take part of mediation, but only under certain circumstances. She's also requesting that Haddish recant statements previously made, in which she states that the accusations are bogus in an effort to shake down. So what do we think about that?
This is weird. This is weird to me. Again, I saw the video, and knowing that the kid, had I not seen the video, I think I don't know. I saw the video. Oh my God. Okay. Go ahead. Shit. Oh God.
I mean, okay, we don't mean to make light of a situation because it really is sad. But the way I took this is not that she's looking to embarrass Tiffany or anything like that. I feel like she's speaking from hurt. She's stating that you first of all, you did this to us, and we're traumatized because of it. But now you're re-victimizing us in the media by saying this was just all bogus and a money grab. So I want you to publicly, I'll go away and we'll have a mediation, but I want you to publicly acknowledge what you did to us and how it could have affected us, and that we are not just trying to do a money grab. I don't see anything wrong with that, because it speaks to me from someone who is truly trying to get to a place of peace and healing. Can I say peace? Peace.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Both of them, though. Yeah, and see, we actually did speak about this. So as soon as you said that, my mind went the opposite way, because sometimes I'm jaded. I was like, oh, she wants to embarrass the hell out of you. Like, so if they made, a settlement with Aries in 2019 and we were supposed to be friends and stuff, so I want you to say, yeah, I did this. I apologize to you, and here's the money. Like, I felt like she wants to, like, just rub your face all in it because you did this. You would have paid me, or if you wouldn't have took advantage of my kids, allegedly. When I say kids, I mean two, because you did it twice, allegedly. So I want to embarrass you and your face, both of them. So I don't I don't know, because I definitely see the way you're saying, but my mind immediately went to I want to embarrass you now, because a lot of people want the clout too. So yeah, I want your money and I want you to feel it. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Shout out to Wendy Williams and her podcast. Feel it.
Podcast?
Podcast.
Podcast.
So I just this is a lot. I pray for those kids in the situation because they doxed the mom's name, which means links
people know
are
who the kids
easily
are.
accessible. I haven't seen the kid's name, thank God. Again, I'm not looking, so if I do see it, I'm going to move along, like Wendy Williams did. Wendy Williams is seeking help, allegedly. Podcast. And that's why. So they said she's seeking help so she can make a full-fledged return to the media for her podcast. I like podcasts.
Podcast everyone has. Podcast.
And they do. So when you first heard that Wendy Williams was getting help again, do you think it's real? Do you think it's media? Do you think it's her husband? Do you think it's her ex-husband?
I definitely think it's real because we see Wendy walking around looking disheveled all the time. She looks like she can't connect her thoughts. It's just something is off with Wendy. And so I'm not necessarily sure that it's actually drugs. I'm not a doctor. It just speaks to like an oncoming long-term disease that could, make you incoherent. I'll just say, for lack of better terms. I just feel sorry for her, and at this point, I don't want Wendy back. I don't. I want Wendy to be well. You have had an amazing career. You transitioned over to TV. You've given people content and viewership for so many years. You have done your job well, Mama. Just rest. But trying to come back when you're clearly not well. It's not gonna end up right, and I don't want her to tarnish the legacy that she already has. So I would rather you've done the damn thing. Let's take over.
So
trust me. J Hud ain't coming for your spot. That's not gonna happen. Sherry ain't gonna take your spot neither. We ain't gonna talk about that neither.
We accidentally watched Jennifer Hudson show.
Girl.
The 37 seconds I gave that. And in that 37 seconds, she was screaming 35 of them. I said, this is not what daytime TV is made of. I don't want to wake up to bears in the sky. Like, do y'all remember when she was losing weight on Weight Watchers? If she's like, if this girl don't get skinny and shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Sorry. And now she's going to be talking every day. Probably not, because I'm not going to watch. But Wendy Williams, like, hush. We don't want a podcast. We don't want you to talk.
We don't.
And here's my thing. I don't know what's real because Wendy Williams is very much a worker bee. Like, she likes to work. She used to say, I went to work all these years and didn't even have a sick day. She would come to work sick. That was her thing. I'm coming to work. And
formerly, and that's fine. But people grow and people age and things happen.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's her that's still trying, or if it's the husband or the ex-husband or the people in her life that are pushing her.
We still ain't seen this random husband. She said she was married a couple weeks ago.
Because
that's what I'm saying. Something's not right.
But if Wendy croaks, then Kevin and Kevin won't get no money. God. So we need her to get better. But they might want her to be better too because so we just don't know. It's also podcast-like, and I don't know. So I'm sure there will be a season 2, and I hope she's alive for it.
Move along, sir.
You too, Wendy. Speaking of, the Queen is currently being pushed down the street. Rolling. Ray is on Zeus. Y'all watch that. So Queen, the former Queen, ain't queening no more.
We don't care about her over here. They're not a hard topics. Move on. The Queen gone. Okay.
Shout out to your black grandbaby.
Oh. All right. So stop it at 42:40.
We don't know this yet. Oh, I do want to do this. We don't have no visual, but we'll just randomly talk about it. Oh, that too. Okay.
I gotta be back to work in a little bit.
Okay. So we'll just end with Erica Mena and the Queen Latifah movie, because the Queen Latifah movie is something that could kind of be evergreen because people be watching it at different times. So we'll do that one real quick and end with Safari. Well, end of the road. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Whenever I think of a strong black mighty. I think of Queen Latifah. And
go ahead, move on.
oh, what's your problem? So the Queen is over on Netflix serving it up. If you haven't heard, if you haven't seen, Queen Latifah is starring in a movie called End of the Road, No Boys to Men, featuring Ludacris. Ludacris is playing her brother. First of all,
I was just about to say, Luda has lost a lot of weight. I don't know if that was for the show. I mean, it looks good on him, but I didn't recognize it was Luda at first.
Luda gotta be like 45 something. I'm about to be 40 next year. He looks like a little boy. Like, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah. He looks very good. The acting was good for him. Like, it was a good movie. So the movie is about
that was shade.
Because we've seen him in things, and like he's, you know what? He's a very animated, good rapper. That's why I liked him. I'm not really a rap kind of girl, boy, whatever. But I loved his antics and his dramatic. So people didn't take him serious because his videos were always so over the top. But then when he does like hosting, like Fear Factor on interviews, bitch, you sound dead. Like he talks
allegedly.
Like, and yeah, I had an Acura Legend back in, like, so he kind of gave you that in the movie, but he kind of gave you a little bit of excitement. So he was playing Queen Latifah's brother. Queen Latifah was married to a man that took and died. So she had her and her 2 kids, and she lost all her money because she was paying for his health situation. I don't give away the whole movie. So long story short, she lost her house, and her brother and her kids went on the run. Beyonce.
Don't tell the rest, because you basically be telling the movie.
But sidebar, I brought up Beyonce because they were talking about people from Houston and all that stuff. And Queen Latifah said Destiny's Child. And the boy said, who was that? And that let me know right there, bitch, you ain't old for real. Like, these kids don't know. They don't know Latifah. Now, neither do I. But we were around the same time frame.
No, they may know Latifah from her acting. They just don't know that she originally started in Destiny's Child.
Latifah was an actor?
I'm thinking about LaToya. Sorry.
Thank
you.
They definitely don't know Latifah. Nobody knows Latifah.
They don't know Latifah. I'm sorry.
Not even her baby daddy, who was part of Candy's crew. Shout out to the Candy Coated Clique.
You know how I feel.
Yes. So what do you think of the movie without us giving it away?
I thought it was good. I mean,
can you explain it without?
No, I'm not explaining anymore. You told enough. Okay, we don't want to tell the story. It's a movie about a family that's on the run. Yeah. Go watch it. It's good. But I love the fact that you from the beginning intros you saw that her flavor unit was and all that stuff. So I love the fact that she's at all these years in the game, she's still making moves, and she's still making moves for her own shit too. So it was a good Netflix movie. I didn't mind it at all.
Yeah, and like you said, with that, her partner is still Shaquem, the dude that she's been like. They might have had a fight or something that we never heard of, but they've been working together doing that shit their whole time, and I love that. People clown Queen Latifah. She stays booked. She stays employed. She stays out of mess. Like, she's on The Equalizer, and it's on season 99. I ain't seen one. Have you?
No, I don't watch that show.
Family, have y'all? Like, nobody watches it, but somebody is, because it's getting renewed. So Queen Latifah stays working. She's giving us Lifetime movie for Black people on Netflix, and I'm here for it, Queen. You did that. Like a dungeon dragon. Nicki Minaj. So she adapted the moniker the bad guy a while ago. Chun-Li. In the past couple months, Nicki has taken on Garcelle Fancy, Lonnie Love, and she said I can't drag her because she's too big. Jennifer Ho, who is allegedly Kenneth Petty's victim. Allegedly, I don't know if I'm supposed to say allegedly to that.
Allegedly,
there's lawsuits going on. So one of the people Nicki is fighting with and currently going through it with is Nosy Ho, who's a YouTuber, a Twitch person. She does a lot, and that's her thing. I do a lot. I go hard. So she's the one that kind of resuscitated Jennifer Huff's story a couple years ago. Jennifer was on her channel. Anyway, long story short, that led to her being contacted by The Real. So Nosy Ho helped Jennifer Ho's story get put out to the world, and allegedly Nicki Minaj has been going at her ever since. And now it's gone shit show. And allegedly Nosy Ho has accused Nicki Minaj, like a couple other people have accused Nicki Minaj of doing, and that's the cocaine.
But the difference is, and you got to state that, is that she said allegedly at first, and then she walked that back immediately and said, no, you don't even have to say allegedly, because we all know that she's a quote unquote, what she said, cokehead. And so that's where you run yourself into issues, because then now you're going to have to prove that she's a cokehead.
And then even in that, she said, I stand in that. I got videos. I got proof. People was in my chat at the time. So she stood in that shit and said it.
But still, how much is that then? How much of that is real true proof though? Just people sending you stuff? Like, how do you know where that came from, where it originated? It's just a bold statement to say, I'm not going to say allegedly, she's a cokehead.
Yeah. So she's saying she's not worried about that. And then it got a little twisted too when she brought in Nicki Minaj's child. So she said some things about the child and basically said, because of your father and your uncle, I'm going to pray for you and you need therapy. So if you know those situations, was that a dig at the child?
That was too far. Leave the child alone. It was too far.
And if you were a parent of that child and somebody who you're currently battling said your child needs therapy because of your husband and this, and then you talked about the child's eye, like 50 Cent did to Little Kim's kid, like
allegedly
they are fighting the babies now. And it's just like,
I can't.
Sidebar, fuck you, R. Kelly, but he found guilty for some more shit. Like, he's going down again.
Babies made you think of R. Kelly? Okay. This is why we are trash. We are trash. Welcome to the trash.
I am an analyst.
Oh, bet you are. All right,
I report the stories. So again, I'm reporting the stories. I don't know much about this Nosy Ho stuff, but y'all, let's dig into this. It's very interesting because it also goes into the matter of Nosy Ho might be cool with Cardi B allegedly. So they're saying that Nosy Ho is working with Cardi B to take Nicki Minaj down, and Tasha K is in it because Tasha K and Nicki are like, it gets so twisted, and now they're saying Nosy Ho is being put up by Cardi B or somebody else because she's just the fish on the bottom of the pole.
Allegedly, that's
allegedly. See, now you talk about me, but you brought up Michael Jackson while
we. You just don't know how to stop. Move on.
So I pray for Papa Bear in this situation, and I pray that the Barbs, please, y'all, please settle down. Nicki, do not encourage the gang members that are Barbs. Yeah. Do not encourage the violence that people are seeing in her comments.
And it's not to attack all Barbs, because just like with any fan base, do you have one sect of a fan base? It's just sometimes they go too far for who they love.
The Beehive is stinging too much too.
We in the Beehive, but we know that the Beehive sometimes they do too damn much. So we're not in that section of the Beehive. But so we're saying those that are part of her fans and are helping her dox people or finding out where people live and threatening their families and shit like that. That's not cool. And Nicki should stand up and almost say something. You want to distance yourself from that, because if they can prove in court that you're liking posts where people are talking negatively about abusing them and all that kinds of stuff like that, then you're kind of co-signing that shit. So Nicki better. I have a feeling that Nicki is trying to run Cardi's play, and it's not going to work. I don't feel like she's going to have the same, win scenario that Cardi had, because that was a different situation where allegedly that she was flat out lying on her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's been rumors about Nicki for many, many, many years, so it's not like she just made this out of her ass. That's not.
And that's what Nosy is saying. She's like, so if you're gonna get me and I'm at the bottom, you got to go after Joe Budden. You got to go after all these other people who said it. So she was just like, there's more to it, because she's mad at me for another reason. She's like, everybody has said all these things about Nicki, but she's coming after me because I brought this woman to the light. And apparently Nosy Ho had her on a show again a couple weeks ago. So neither one is letting up, and I just want somebody to let up before it's too late. Like, again, I need all the fan bases, because even Nosy Ho has her mermaids. They're not the little ones. Shout out to Haley. We don't need y'all fighting over YouTube personalities and musicians. At the end of the day, we like these people.
Oh, sorry. Wrong platform.
At the end of the day, you like Nicki Minaj for her music, her demeanor, her attitude. It's not about the other thing. So let's not kill people. Let's not dox people. Let's not do none of that stuff. Just enjoy the music. If you don't like her enemies, fuck them.
Right.
Fuck them.
And can we just say for a moment that Nicki, you're too old for this. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just feel like you should have already, in your mind, have already done all you can do. A lot of these artists that you're talking about have not done what you've done. They have not garnered your same success. Why can't you rest in that alone? Why do you even need to argue like that? Like, a real clean bitch don't worry about the peasants. They don't. And I'm not calling nobody else a peasant, because there's some girls out there I really rock with.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if that's your mindset, then why are you doing this?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, you should be more of a role model at this point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It should be like, I'm Nicki Minaj. Y'all look up when you talk to me, and instead they're looking across. We shouldn't be. And I think that's some of the problems she said too. She said some of these girls are acting like we're peers. Like they feel like I should have been working with them, like I owe them a verse. And I feel like you put yourself in that element. Like
I'm about to say, you're making yourself that attainable. Yeah, you're making yourself feel like you're they're a peer. Like when you carry yourself a certain way, people will treat you a certain way. Yeah. No one's ever going to walk up to Beyonce and say, "This is my peer." She has that level of respect at this point. You know what I mean? Unless we're talking about a legend ahead of her. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about legends. I'm talking about the girls out here now. Beyonce carries herself in a certain way. She don't address things. She'll ignore you and she'll move on. Rest in what the fuck you have completed in life. Rest in all of your goals, all your aspirations, your numbers. You have something to be proud of. Act like it. That's all I'm saying.
Now, let's flip the script. Nicki is a rapper. Rapper is known about spitting your shit, popping your shit, people coming for you. So maybe she shouldn't be classy. I'm supposed to come at these girls who's coming at me.
But were they coming at her?
They are. So what she's doing is now she's attaching herself to the younger people who are attaching themselves to her, but she's calling them out because she has links to basically all the new girls who are out, and she said they're very, very nice to her until she does a feature for them or something like that, and then they don't fuck with her no more. So she's calling people out like, you got what you wanted, and then you won't answer my call, or then you go link up with the ops. So she's very much saying, allegedly, that Megan did that to her.
This link up with the op mess, though, this is stupid. These girls, these new girls out here, they need to work and they need to do features, whatever what may be. What beef you have with somebody shouldn't be my beef. If we're linking up for a song, as fucking co-workers, we're not best friends. You know what I mean? Whatever issues you have with somebody else, as long as you don't hear me talking shit about you when I'm with that person, don't stop somebody else from working. That's dumb. It's the whole thing like when Tamar was back at people going to visit the Rio after she left. What does one thing have to do with the other? I need to work.
And you need to work too. So like, Tamar, come on. So I just need Nicki to know that you are the top. No, she was the top. And now you're lowering yourself to be equal, stepping back up. They cannot touch you when you're in your zone. But again, she wouldn't be relevant if she was just spitting hot verses that were going nowhere. So she kind of got to dig into the mud to be relevant because she's being mentioned every day. And before she wasn't. So she was an afterthought. Now you're amongst the trash, I should say. And that's not good.
Not trash.
You should not be in the list. And I hate using them as a reference. I don't know their raps. So I'm just going to say the City Girls. Nicki Minaj and City Girls should not be in the same tier. I don't know which one raps.
You think they are?
People put them in their group. Like JT has a song with her, and people were comparing the verses between those two. There should not be her and Coily Ray. Like nothing against Coily Ray, but Nicki Minaj doing that song kind of made her relevant to a younger crowd, but to the older crowd was like, what the fuck are you doing? Nothing against Coily Ray, but you're a TikTok.
See, I don't have a problem with her working with anybody else, or even because that could be a form of mentorship as well. You know, working with somebody else, showing them the game or whatever, what have you, giving them a break. I'm not mad at that. I'm mad at just the antics behind the scenes, like this childish high school shit. You're above that. You've done more enough to be a part of that. Let the girls down there fight, but you don't need to. You don't need to get in the middle of all that shit, all this messy shit on the Queen radio. It's just messy, and I just don't think that's necessary.
Yeah. So I guess we end this with this. Nicki, what do you want? Do you want to be known as, because you always said, I'm not a female rapper, I'm a rapper. She wanted to be in the top 5 with everybody. with the way you're acting now, would they put you up there? Or would they not even look at your talent because everything that comes up first is drama? So when the drama overtakes the talent, you end up looking like you.
Okay. I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know, because you know what? I want more for Nicki, but when I saw that she was with Safari, I should have knew then, but I judged her differently. And now seeing the trash Safari is, and the fact that him and Erica Mena have been going through it, he tricked us with that fake.
Allegedly.
Anytime he uses his dick, pull out a ruler and show.
Oh my God.
But Safari only and I don't want to say only because it is a lot of money. Safari only has to pay ex-wife Erica Mena $4,000 for 2 kids. Now, when I think of their kid, I know this is bad. My mind is bad. When I think of their kids, I remember the one time on Love and Hip Hop where the baby fell over and Safari laughed. Remember that the baby said boom and he bust out laughing. That's what you give me. That's what you give me as a father. That's what Erica has kind of implied. But $4,000 is a lot of money. But is it a lot when you're street?
When you're what?
Street.
A mess.
Ain't that what he say?
I don't think it's a whole lot of money, but clearly it's based off of his income right now and what he's pulling in, and so that is what it is. I would have thought it would have been more, but I guess not.
So do you think people stopped paying for his OnlyFans after they saw the reel?
I don't know.
Where'd that money go? Where your links go? Well, all right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for this week in review. We'll have more going on. We don't do that stuff, but I guess the retrograde and Mercury and all that stuff. All that weird stuff is going on.
Bye.
Just acting wild, y'all.
All right, y'all.